So I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but Kamala Harris went on Howard Stern today, and it was definitely a more fair interview than the 60 Minutes hit piece that I honestly think that they put together on her because now I kind of get why Donald Trump was a little afraid of 60 Minutes because if they treat him the same way that they treated her, honestly, it's fucking disgusting because they use that opportunity instead of to, help promote her agenda or any of these things, they used it as like almost like a smear on her where they were just like, well, we're going to meticulously go through the GOP's talking points and then we're going to apply all of those to our questions with you instead of asking our own questions, instead of letting you, do the whole letting us get to know her thing. No. They want us to know a very specific version of her. And it's the one that Donald Trump and the GOP are putting out there. That's why I'm not even going to bother really covering the 60 Minutes of interview as much because it was absolutely ridiculous. Which I want to be okay with like objective journalism because again, if they were objective and if it was actual hard hitting questions, I'd be okay with it. But no, to just reframe fucking MAGA talking points and then just be like, oh, well, we're asking the hard hitting questions. That's fucked up because you are rewriting what hard hitting questions actually are. Again, MAGA did the job for you and you just went with it. Good job. But at least she did it because Donald Trump, he's not going to be doing a 60 Minutes interview, but she's been hitting the circuits. She's going to be going on the late night shows here coming up. And she's also, she hit Howard Stern. But when she was on Stern, it was kind of cool because she gave him the whole hour and he, number one, he made her so comfortable that she did have a few moments where she almost kind of forgot that she was like, and he's so good at this, where she kind of forgot that she was just talking to him or like she was talking to him, but she was also on the radio. So there were a few times where she definitely let her guard down. And this interview let me get like personally, I got to know her way better than any other interview because it like the talking points weren't like the gifted or the boxed up talking points from her campaign. She actually like let us know some in-depth shit. And also, there was some reiteration, from some stories that we had heard, like when she first heard about like her nomination and all that, or, Joe Biden asking her if she would be the nominee, and him letting her know that he was stepping down. It was, again, it didn't seem as like this rehearsed canned thing because that's my number one criticism of her and her campaign is that they seem wooden. They keep going and just repeating the same talking points from their campaign, which again, I get it. But even early on in her campaign, I was starting to be like, listen, this is the age of the internet. Most people have seen this and their excuse of, well, we're going and hitting all the campaign stops and this message is for them. It's like, yeah, but even like when they start repeating the line before you even get to it, that's not necessarily you just getting your message across. That's also like, yeah, you're getting a little repetitive, which, I mean, if we're going to attack Donald Trump on the same thing. But as I said, Howard definitely was, he made her more comfortable. He started the interview just by talking about like Prince and, her favorite artists. We found out that she's a U2 fan, which, yay. I haven't liked U2 since they forcefully put their music on my iPod or my iTunes. So I was not too thrilled with that. So let's just say I've held a grudge ever since then. And also, can we all just objectively say that It's a Beautiful Day is a fucking awful song. It's just so dumb, so bad. And man, oh, you want to talk about overplayed? Holy crap. You would hear it in every lobby or any, like, you would hear it in, department stores, everywhere. It was freaking everywhere. And it wasn't a beautiful day. I was always miserable hearing it. So, sorry if you're a Bono fan. But yeah, he kind of, you know, eased her into being a little more comfortable. There were a few things that were kind of cool. Like he got a real reaction from her about like they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Like when Trump said that, he just kind of like Howard just asked Kamala if Kamala. I have to get better about that. You know, like somebody had said it, they're just like, you're probably saying it wrong because you watch a lot of like anti Kamala stuff, and I'm like, that is kind of it. I'm also just horrible with pronunciation. um, but Kamala, um, God, see, no, I kind of forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the cats, the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Well, it was one of those. It was one of those honest reactions where, like, because everybody was kind of saying like when she did this, hmm? That it was like completely fake, and even Joe Rogan, you know, doing the little conspiracy bit from, you know, because he's Joe Rogan, the earpiece thing, like she was wearing an earpiece. Yeah, man, like totally. But oh my lord, come on, charity call. Well, guess who's not feeling very charitable right now? And also, yeah, sorry, man, I really forgot to do my checks today. Um, so let's see. Well, yeah, I was using that. Go away. Uh, oh yeah. Learning about how Trump has not only been still talking to Putin, which we didn't learn that in this interview. We actually learned that from Bob Woodward, I think either today or yesterday. But it's kind of interesting because we found out that Trump was sending COVID supplies to Russia and Putin before he was even, you know, helping us out. So cool. Um, you know, definitely putting your buddies first and making sure that, you know, you're lined up, you know, for having somebody having your back or whatever. Like I'm actually disgusted about that one. Let's see. Yeah, she called Trump a loser, which let's get to that because this is pretty much the only way I can watch a clip right now and not get dinged on YouTube. Yeah, SiriusXM, they're really playing games. Although, fuck, dude, like, just I've had this problem. I'm not sure if anybody else has been having this issue where every time, like, even non-copywritten music, I'm getting dinged on. Like, whatever, like they're running the checks through now, like for some reason, it's yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So let's take a look at this. Oh, it might help if I turn that on.
Here, you went on The View this morning,
Yeah.
you're going to the shows, you did 60 Minutes. By the way, I thought what was so amazing about 60 Minutes is the fact that Trump turned it down.
Yeah.
I mean, it just says so much. He didn't want to be fact checked. This is maddening. This is insanity. What do you mean you don't want to be fact checked?
I think that, you know, Howard, people ask me, like, what do you think is going on and what is the tension here? What's at stake? And there are many things, and I can be much more articulate than what I'm going to say.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say we've come a long way from the
Right,
old
ultimately,
Howard Stern show.
believe that this is an election that is about strength versus weakness,
Yeah.
and weakness as projected by someone who puts himself in front of the American people and does not have the strength to stand in defense of their needs, their dreams, their desires.
After struggling on a few tests, Mia was worried
come on.
that her physics grade might bring down her GPA.
Yeah. No.
The work that must
Edit
happen
ads.
to make sure that we are
Dude.
a secure nation,
And
that we
Sorry. Before anybody tries to say get an ad blocker, I ran an ad blocker, and as a YouTuber, they're also penalizing for that kind of crap. So honestly, it's just easier for me. And sometimes, every once in a while, like here, just real quick. No. There we go. See that? These AI ads, they make me laugh because they just take like old pictures of Hillary Clinton and somehow mesh it into this. Like it's the same AI chick every time. It's just like, this is what a Republican. This is the Republican
Are
dream
nurturing
girl.
and protecting our alliances around the world, that we are supporting America's military, that we are fighting to bring the cost of living down for working families, that we are building businesses, building growth.
Did you?
Yeah, see, that's all we can use. It's kind of infuriating because, full disclosure, I did record the whole interview as far as making a video, and then immediately tried to well, I didn't even get to the upload process, man. Like the second that I hit that check, or they hit the checks, it was done and over. So, hence why we're doing a little recap. But thank God that they also did a little recap so we can just kind of use what they have to say. Kamala Harris told Howard Stern that Donald Trump is preparing to be a sore loser as the former president continues to refuse to say he is willing to accept the results of the 2024 election. I mean, he still hasn't accepted the 2020 election, let's be real. Stern, who repeatedly assailed the former president as he interviewed his Democratic rival on Tuesday, blasted Trump's delusional framing of the outcome of this year's election. If I win, it's a fair election. If I lose, Kamala Harris and her buddies fixed it. That's delusional, said Stern. In America, we call that a sore loser. Harris replied, bleh. Man, it's the simple ones that I always miss. During a mostly friendly hour-and-a-half interview, Stern peppered Harris with questions about her thoughts on Trump and his chaos in and out of office, from the insanity that he turned down an interview with 60 Minutes because he refused to be fact-checked, to the moment he baselessly accused immigrants of eating pets during their only debate. I believe that this election is about strength versus weakness, said Kamala Harris. Weakness is projected by someone who does not have the strength to stand in defense of themselves. Stern also joked that he wished that Russian President Vladimir Putin would get COVID and drop dead after it was revealed that Trump reportedly secretly sent him tests for personal use at the height of the pandemic. It wasn't even for his people, it was for his personal use, guys. Yeah. Trump's really got your best interests at heart. This is what keeps me up at night, Stern said. I don't understand how my fellow Americans, I don't even understand how this election is so close. Yes, I'm voting for you, but I'd also vote for that wall over there. Why do my fellow Americans want this kind of chaos overseas? Why? Harris said that Putin was punked. Oh, Harris has said that Putin has punked Trump into supporting an adversary. Well, it's not really punking when you're just... Again, he's not even that hard. You say something nice and he's just like, you're my friend. I got a personal friend in Vladimir Putin. It's a sign of weakness. Yep. Oh, yeah, it's a sign of weakness in a leader that cannot stand in defense of your people, said Harris, listing off former Republican officials and members of Trump's own cabinet who have refused to support him. The people who have known him the people who have known him best have let us know he is dangerous and unfit. Man. Did I mention I had I actually have like a minor eye infection right now? So it's like I can only focus with one eye. So I usually would just admit that I'm having trouble with this, but I actually have a reason today. So the Democratic nominee appeared on Howard Stern's SiriusXM broadcast during a week-long interview blitz of unscripted media appearances. Hey! Landing on the so-called king of media's long-running talk show, better known for rampant misogyny and on-air pranks. Yeah, well, you guys haven't listened for a while, apparently. The shock jock has made an unlikely transformation into an uncontroversial and familiar face in America's homes, from his appearance on the extremely family-friendly AGT America's Got Talent competition series to his earnest interviews on the long-running radio broadcasts. They're also starting, I don't understand why they didn't put the Biden one on the Warner platform. Oh my God, Max, because they put his Bruce Springsteen interview on Max, but I hope this one also lands there. The Howard Stern Show, Baba Booey, which surged in popularity after its national syndication in the late 80s, was known for pushing the limits for racism, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we kind of know that. Stern was a shock jock. Woo. Stern, who has broadcast on SiriusXM since 2006, has roughly 10 million weekly listeners. Jeez. Has in recent years pivoted to an interview approach that appears to be more interested in probing introspective questions than sex and fart jokes and asking his guests to take off their clothes. Yeah, he hasn't done that for years, like years. We're talking like going on a decade now. Although we still have some, show shenanigans as far as like, people that work there. He was also a longtime associate of the former president who made several appearances on the Howard Stern Show in the 80s and 2000s. Like Stern's whack pack regulars, Trump was often lured into a false sense of security to blurt out admissions that have trailed his political career. It was on Stern's show that Trump called avoiding sexual transmitted disease his own personal Vietnam. Claimed that he could have had sex with Princess Diana and said, "I guess so," when asked if he was in support of the Iraq War. Yeah, he's a serious person, guys. In 2017, Stern said Trump had no fucking idea this shitty life he was in for after being elected president. The next year, Stern said to Trump, "Get the fuck out of the White House and go back to Mar-a-Lago and hang." During an interview on Fox News last month, Trump said Stern has gone woke and changed. If woke means I can't be Trump, or if woke means I can't be behind Trump, which is what I think it means, or that I support people who want to be transgender, or I am for the vaccine, dude, call me woke, you fucking, if you call me as woke as you fucking want. That's how I feel. Yeah, where you get, okay, yeah. You guys trying to bastardize the word woke is hilarious because it's just like you guys don't even know what it means. And then when you find out, you're like, oh, it's actually kind of cool. In 2022, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Yeah, Stern blasted the appointment of the three conservative judges appointed by the president. He told Harris on Tuesday that women should be able to make this decision for themselves. What is this? I don't want Donald Trump and his party deciding. I don't want Clarence Thomas deciding. Trump hand-selected 3 members to do exactly what they did, Harris said. I ask people to take a step back, whatever your gender, and it's not about abortion. You have basically now a system that says, as an individual, you do not have the right to make decisions about your own body. The government has the right to make the decision for you. That is the long and short of it. If you are a actual Republican, you just need to break it down like that. You're taking liberties away. I don't care what you think about your stupid religion. I don't care about your faith. I don't care about that. What I care about is this: the fact that you guys claim to be about freedom and then taking freedoms away. So stop pretending. I'm tired of it. I can't even get like really mad right now. I'm so tired. I was like going to get all like ramped up. I'm just like, All right. The U.S. is seeing a restriction of rights, fundamental rights, she said. What could be more fundamental about making decisions about your own body? This issue is not about trying to convert people. One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs. Yes. See, you can still have your faith, because also that whole idea, like, they're coming for the Christian faith. I've been saying that shit since the 90s. Stern laid into Trump for attacking Taylor Swift for endorsing Harris and asked the vice president how Americans can elect somebody that just has that kind of mentality. Donald Trump is an unserious man, and the consequences of him being president again are hugely serious, she said. Independent reader... okay. All right. Well. We got what we wanted out of it. Except for, a little bit more of the interview. That would have been nice. I was gonna even try and like play a little bit on my phone, but I'm not gonna play that game. I'm so sick of fucking YouTube TOS right now. So just trying to keep up with it, But I hope you guys got a good idea of what happened there. If you guys have the ability to watch the interview before it hits, because I have a feeling that this will end up free on YouTube soon or free somewhere, because it was too important, especially to Howard, to not have it heard by more people. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets the Springsteen treatment, but we'll see. I mean, again, what I said about Biden, you would have thought that he would have done the same thing, but yeah, and I love all the people freaking out on Howard. Nothing is funnier to me than all the people. Howard's changed, but then these are the same guys that right now, think about this, that are bringing up the blackface stuff and bringing up all his past, but that's the shit that they miss. So, yes, let's listen to the most reprehensible fucking human beings, the ones that, still think toxic masculinity does not exist. And I just totally like spit. I'm falling apart, guys. Man, I had a long weekend, and even yesterday did not bring me back. I'm still running at like 50%. But yeah, I think that we kind of covered it. So if you guys like this content, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all of your support. It's kind of like, it's still, I keep saying this, but it is legitimately crazy to me that you guys are checking out my content and engaging with me as much as you do. I really appreciate it. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.